Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you the team I'm going to use for this class trial in GEOMANCER. One of the best classes in the game. Really good, certainly worth getting to level 100. But I'm going to go about it in a slightly different way. I'm going to show you how I build a team, or one of my methods at least, to building a team. It can be fairly straightforward for this one, because there's not a huge amount of troops to pick from. So let's go to the fight menu. You can fight these troops in any order, like we'll pick on King Highforge first. So no troops, but we're restricted by Hellcrag and Construct. So a good method for these kind of things is often to go like damage to all. There's a couple of good damage to all troops in here. Obsidian Axis does damage to all, boosted by Gargoyle Gems and Stone Blocks. We also have Dragonstone Guardian, does damage to all again. They create a mix of 5 good and bad Gargoyle Gems. So that's a pretty good start with those two. Obviously this does come with a little bit of troop knowledge, but even if you didn't know your troops that well, it doesn't take that long to just skip through each one, having a quick look at what each one does and deciding if it's any good or not. But let's start with that as a little basis. Let's chuck in a Obsidian Axis and a Dragonstone Guardian. We can change them later if we don't like them, but they both do damage to all. But the second part of their spell is quite interesting. Create a mix of 5 good and bad Gargoyle Gems. This also is boosted by Gargoyle Gems and Stone Blocks. So we've got a troop which does damage to all and creates those good and bad Gargoyle Gems, and someone else which is boosted by them. So an ideal third troop here would be either someone that explodes gems to actually make use of those Gargoyle Gems that creates, because you don't want to leave them there, or we can add another troop in which basically creates even more Gargoyle Gems. And evil ones are the best because they can be terror, they can be death mark, silence, freeze, whatever. So that's a good troop as well, because we've got a really nice mix of colours now. We've got brown, we've got purple, yellow, red. But now we got one thing to finish off. We got a troop which is boosted in its power by Gargoyle Gems and Stone Blocks, and we've got 2 troops which create Gargoyle Gems. So now we absolutely need something to explode them, which means the weapon. And there's only one weapon on my mind right now. There might be a better one, but Obsidian Libram, really good for this. Explodes magic +1 gems and has a summon at the same time. You could have one of these up top with damage reduction by 50% from skulls. Correct Hound is probably the least precious out of our troops we've got, or we can pop this up top because we're going to get 50% start with mana. We can also have stuff like impact from the class. We can have a well red, gains 3 magic if using a tome, which we are. Anti-magic sphere, tactician, rock solid. Yeah, really good traits in this. So we're going to get damage reduction from 50% anyway, so to speed up this process we may as well chuck that up top. So we got one troop which does damage to 2 random enemies, creates 3 evil Gargoyle Gems. We've got another one which does damage to all, and creates a mix of 5 good and bad Gargoyle Gems. We've got another damage to all troop which is boosted by Gargoyle Gems, which is really good, and also has a 30% chance to create an evil Gargoyle Gem when its turn begins. And we've got something which explodes those gems to make use of all those Gargoyle Gems. And you can use this in 2 different ways. It's a good thing to have up top, because basically we can charge it first of all and cast it to actually speed up the progress of our troops down here. And of course we can cast it again when we want to take advantage of all those lovely Gargoyle Gems. So the banner for this, don't use green, don't use blue, so anything that does nice benefits on brown and purple, that's our 2 most used colours, will be good for this. So the Cavernous banner from Durgaroth is ideal. There's one really simple method of making a team. Basically looking at your starting point of what you're starting with, in this case damage to all, looking at the other benefits of that troop and how we can actually make the most out of them. And that is just how I made that team just then. Right, so onwards and upwards into the battle itself. Did we get our potion of enchantment from the shop? Yes, we did. Right, I said I was going to start on Highforge, so we will. So here we're looking to just get the weapon charged up. If we get some yellow for our other damage to all troop down there, they are going to be able to cast next round, because of the combination of that 50% start, the potion of enchantment, that's going to be ready really quickly. Nice medals for this if you've got them to boost up the power of your team. Oh, Garnock and his buddies are waiting to be destroyed. Don't even need to get that sort of thing. If you get like something like this, you're going to get a barrier anyway. And because the Obsidian Libram just explodes gems, it basically means that the team gets charged up really quickly. And let's carry on. It's kind of interesting with this kind of weapon as well, because we can do that. Don't really need to, but we're ready next round anyway. Because a weapon that's got a summon, you often think is better not up the top, because obviously if you lose your top troop, you lose your summoner, but it does kind of depend upon what team you're fighting. A lot of teams you may fight may do damage to the last 2 enemies, or may death mark the last 2 enemies, something like that. So in that case, it's actually really good to have a summoner in 1st or 2nd place. So it does actually vary upon the team, really. I should have cast this one really to get it done a round earlier. Didn't need to cast old Cragface. Alright, let's do this last battle and I'll jump forward a bit into the more difficult battles. Don't need to do that. Let's got any yellow? Yes. Yes, we have. Right, I've jumped forward a little bit into the slightly more difficult levels, but it's still really straightforward with this team. But let's show why this team order is important at the same time. Now we'll take a look at our bottom troop and see that our Obsidian Axis is normally doing 68 damage to all enemies. So let's see what happens when we don't cast that. If we cast that straight away without any boost from Gargoyle Gems, that's what we're going to get. 68 damage to all enemies if there was nothing to boost it. But let's see what happens when we get something like this ready. So our Obsidian Axis will be ready in a couple of rounds. So we'll cast this first, do this damage to all. Let's grab that first, don't want the enemy to have it. We've created them Gargoyle Gems, so there's a bunch of them now on the screen. We've now got a boost of plus 15. That's plus 15 damage to all. That's like a 25% increase. Now if we cast this next, to create even more, obviously this is going to be above and beyond what we need to do here, but we've now got a boost of 24. That's huge. That's like massive. That's getting on for like, what, 40% damage increase? Like you could obviously do the skull here. You could cast Obsidian Libram to destroy all these Gargoyle Gems. Really cool. Or just do the damage to all to finish them off. But important if you're a newer player, not hitting as hard as me, to get these things in the right order so you benefit from as much boost as possible. Like if your Obsidian Axis was still not going to wipe out the enemy there in a single cast or whatever, then you might want to cast the Obsidian Libram next to actually benefit from all those Gargoyle Gems. So cast order is actually very important in this game. Let's get all these Gargoyle Gems and gems in general. So let's do the same theory again. Got a basic damage at the moment. Let's do this. So they've been wiped out. Let's get a further boost. More Gargoyle Gems. Boost is now 21. If you're a newer player, needed more power, needed more protection, you could typically cast those Gargoyle Gems. But typically the enemy was blessed then, so it was actually impervious to all those status effects trying to go on. So yeah, lots to think about in this game. Let's see if we can do that again without a blessed enemy. This is our Obsidian Libram. But you don't have to worry about mana for that, because by the time we've cast these two, because of the potion of enchantment, they'll be ready to cast anyway. So, got no boost at the moment. Let's cast this damage to all. I think a couple of them are going to die. Next round, we've got a boost of 24. So, without these enemies being blessed, they'll now get a full wallop of all these Gargoyle Gems. Look at that. Death Mark, Frozen, Poison, Fairy Fire, Stunned. That one was absolutely murdered a lot. Absolutely insane. So a really simple, easy way of making a team now. Now to benefit from the good things it does. I think Gargoyle Gems are possibly one of the most underrated things in the game right now. If an enemy hasn't got any way of destroying gems, then Gargoyle Gems are really, really powerful. Right, I should have got purple there at some point. So let's do this anyway. And finish off with the axis. Nice easy way to finish the team off if you've got enough power from your 2 damage to all troops. Have we got any purple? Have we got any brown? Nope. So we'll get yellow. Don't mind. Don't mind at all. Let's do this. So the Exodus does the job. Boosted by all those gargoyle gems on the board. Of course, as soon as you cast your Obsidian Libram to get all the benefit of those gargoyle gems, you kind of take them away, so you lower the boost from your gargoyle. So you've got to do, which obviously is the best thing to do in the current situation. Let's do this first. It's another double wallop. We've got a boost of 24. Enough to finish them off. If it wasn't enough to finish them off, you can hit them with all those gargoyle gems by casting Obsidian Libram and then casting your Obsidian Axis. Because chances are they're going to get fairy fired or something, or death marked, terrored. All sorts can be going on. And they're fun as well. I do like the idea of the old... What else should I do? Let's cast this. All those status effects. It's going to be enough to finish. Right, let's make this the last one. Really nice effective team for this. Let's grab some purple for our Obsidian Libram. Blow up the board, getting some of them gems, those gargoyle gems at the same time. First bunch of damage to ball, second bunch, and on your way. There it is. Nice little couple of team building tips there, hopefully. But there's a video. If you enjoyed it, found anything about it useful or helpful, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention at the beginning, the Molten Dipper. It's a class mythic weapon, but it's nothing too great about it. It's actually okay in the right team, but I wouldn't spend all these gems just to get it. Not unless you're buying tons and tons of gems just to get Geomancer towards level 100, because you can get it for free once you've achieved 250 wins in a Geomancer.